Frogan is in trouble, Denims is in trouble, Reddit moderators are in trouble, Discord moderators are in trouble. Everyone is finally getting their sweet, delicious, long-awaited karma. I am here for it. The lawyer who goes by Legal Mindset recently made a video talking about Frogan, Denims, and others and just how cooked they are. And they're not 100% cooked, they're 1000% cooked. Like, these people are fucked. There's no coming back from this. Let's just get right into it. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like. I am way too excited for this. I shouldn't be, but I am. So anytime Frogan and Downfall are together, or Denims and Downfall are together, I'm watching.
So let's talk about this. Frogan is literally about to default early next week. What has she done with the 50K she raised? We have not heard from her or her attorney at all. She has like 5 days to respond to our complaint or she loses by default.
So this was about 2 days ago, and as far as I know, there hasn't been an update regarding Frogan. She's still MIA. No one knows where she is. She's been hiding for the last month so she doesn't get served. This is something that we've talked about here on the channel, guys. Frogan has been missing. She's running from the law, which is surprising considering, you know, how the fuck is she run? But you get my point. I'm guessing by now she has 3 to 2 days left to figure all of this out and plan her next move, unless her big brain idea is just to disappear, just ghost everyone and pretend like this isn't happening, which is weird because you already made a GoFundMe, so you are indeed aware of the situation. If anything, this just makes things worse because you are aware of the situation, you know what's going on, but you continuously avoid it. I don't know, Frogan, this isn't big brain. Just woman up, get those papers, get served, and go from there. I mean, you've raised 50K. I pray to God the people who donated, for whatever reason, I hope they either get their money back or you get completely cooked and fucked over. Or maybe I'm the idiot and this is a 3000 IQ move. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not a lawyer.
This was last night. And this was last night. So it's probably down to 4 days. So after this came from Ethan. So this is from Ethan, right? This was the snarkers. And this is one of the most legally inaccurate takes. That's one of the most legally inaccurate takes ever. Okay. This is from the snarkers. Can't wait to see the case dismissed after Fro. What is she like? First of all, who calls her Fro? Like when I hear them call her Fro, it sounds like she's Froyo. Okay. Like I can't not think that she's frozen yogurt. So let's get into this. After Fro files a motion to quash after being improperly served. This dude is such an idiot. He has all of his money and doesn't know what to do with it. So therefore, his quack of a lawyer is just taking it from him. LMAO.
I love how Redditors and these type of snark, you know, dumbass Redditors come on here. They talk with such authority. They think they know everything. Fro's gonna file the motion to squash after being improperly served and she's gonna become rich. And how do I know this? I just asked ChatGPT if it was possible. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I know what's gonna happen here. Bro, I hate these fucking Redditors that talk with such big mouth and with such authority. Like, you gotta chill. I am not trusting what some random ass fucking Redditor says.
This is really funny. Okay, well, first of all, let's correct the record. All lawyers are greedy, money-sucking, soulless quacks. No, they're all crazy in a special way. All lawyers are crazy in a special way. But beyond that, this is procedurally inaccurate and completely wrong. And I'm going to explain how this is just completely wrong. So, first of all, let's explain what a default judgment is. Okay? Default judgment is a court ruling in favor of the plaintiff, typically because the defendant does not file a defense or the defendant doesn't acknowledge the claim. So, you know, if you just want to stick your head in the sand and pretend you don't know what's going on, you're likely going to get a default judgment. Now, there are certain circumstances in which not receiving service is a real thing. However, in this case, Ethan Klein has multiple methods. He can, obviously have what we call hand deliveries when you're hand serviced, but there's also service by publication. So you can publish it in a newspaper of general circulation, and that can generally get back and serve a service. And beyond that, we all know that Frogan knows about this lawsuit. Like, it's not something that Frogan doesn't know about. It's very public. So it's very clear what's going on here to a judge that Frogan is trying to dodge this. Frogan is trying to evade this, right?
Now, I'm not speaking with authority when I say this, but I'm pretty sure if she would have never, I guess, acknowledged that she was getting sued and she would have never got the GoFundMe going, I believe she could survive this. I believe she could have gone away with it. I believe, she could be chilling, live streaming herself, doing God knows what at 2 a.m. Because apparently that's when she live streams. I've been told a few times. Maybe she would have gone radio silent. Maybe this could have worked. But the second you acknowledge it and then you ask for $50,000. As a matter of fact, it wasn't 50K. It was like 100 to 200K that she was asking for. But she only managed to raise 50K, which for someone her size, channel-wise, that's extremely respectable. 50K when like 30 people watch you. Honestly, that's kind of impressive. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Extremely rare Frogan W for that one, or at least the community. But I think it's a little too late to be playing the, I didn't see that. I had no idea that was going on card. You lost that chance about a month ago. It just makes you look so much worse.
And Ethan Klein, through this default judgment, this court ruling in favor of the plaintiff, he would win without Frogan ever having a chance to assert defense. So Frogan, even if she gets this default judgment, so even if the court ends up ultimately siding with Ethan Klein and saying, hey, default judgment. And remember, with a default judgment, that isn't a win for Klein. He gets what he wants. So he'll get damages, whatever else he wants, injunctions, removal of the video, whatever he wants. He's going to get that by default. It's just, hey, well, this person is not fighting back. So, okay. And then he can proceed, if she doesn't do anything, she can proceed to collecting on that judgment at a certain point. However, Frogi Yogi does have a potential opportunity to challenge the default judgment. And she does that with an objection to the default judgment, which is a motion to set aside. So she can make a motion to set aside the default judgment. Now, she does need to have a valid excuse, right? So
let's see what they are. Not receiving the claim and has been avoiding over the last week or two. Illness or extreme emergency. Does 2 a.m. DoorDash count as extreme emergency for Frogo? Illness. She do be kind of retarded, so maybe. Okay, I could maybe see this one. I think out of these three, maybe 2 a.m. DoorDash or just being retarded might qualify her in order for her to get away with it. You know what the funniest part of all of this is? And I've covered this before. Ethan was extremely charitable towards Frogan. He was like, you could butter me up. We could make a deal. All right. You know what I mean? I'll go easy on you. And the lawyer told either Frogan or Denims, you should settle. Be smart. And Frogan and Denims are so stuck in their ways. They refuse to see anything else that isn't good. And they just keep getting buried deeper and deeper into this whole mess that could have been fixed privately. And once again, Ethan was extremely charitable. I mean, I covered this and he was like, well, we could talk. Reach out, you can butter me up, we can figure something out between us. And Frogan's pride or ego, whatever you guys want to call it, wouldn't allow that. And now she's finding out the hard way that she's about to lose everything she has, including the $20 in her bank account. So yikes. Sometimes, guys, you gotta know when to put your ego aside and take the L.
Not receiving the claim could be if the service, all types of service, were invalid. But I guarantee you that at least one type of service that they used on this, whether it was, hand delivery or publication or some sort of substitute service, was legally sufficient to provide notice of service or sufficient service to proceed with the case. They're not going to issue the default judgment typically if there was completely bunk service. But the burden would be on Frogi to prove that. And beyond that, you'd have to have something like illness or extreme emergency. And as far as we know, in the Frogan case, Frogan is not in the hospital. Frogan is not under extreme emergency. Frogan was not in a crisis zone, right? She's not somewhere where bad stuff is going down, right? Or she'd have to prove a procedural error, right? However, she has to respond to do this, and that response has to be very prompt and persuasive. So she'd have to do that anyways. So she's going to have to go back, write the court, and explain why she did not respond before, etc. And the judge is not obliged to accept that. The judge can say, I don't accept this. We're still sticking with the default judgment. Now, here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing. And here's where the snarkers are completely wrong. This is where the snarkers just are
own them legal mindset.
Stupid.
Destroy them.
Is even if Frogan objects to the default, and even if the judge grants her motion, if everything goes the same way, you know what the end result is? You know what the end result is? It's not the case being dropped, kids. It's the case proceeding as normal. So if Frogan goes through all this extra work, all she's going to do is have the case proceed as normal. Literally, somebody in the chat said it. Who said it here? Square one. It's back at square one. Congratulations, Frogan. You literally did nothing. You do all this work for freaking nothing.
Now, I've never said, nor have I ever claimed, to be the smartest person ever. A lot of words have come out of my mouth, but not those. And even if I was in Frogy's situation, Frogy's actually kind of a cute nickname. I'm going to stick with that. If I was in Frogy's situation, I would move the moon. I would move the earth. I would move whatever needs to be moved in order for me to not get as fucked over as she is right now. I would have been on the phone with Ethan the second he was like, I'm willing to hear you out. I'm willing to not go as hard on you. I would have done that. If he was like, well, meet me, I don't know if I can downtown LA. I'll be like, I'll see you in 30 minutes, Mr. Klein. Do you want me to bring anything? Do you want me to bring some fucking, I don't know, cheeseburgers or whatever the fuck Frogan might eat? Frogy, I mean. But no, these fucking Twitch streamers are beyond stupid. They're not even stupid. They're not morons. They're literally the definition of retards, okay? I cannot believe this. Like, I'm genuinely crashing out at 12 a.m. I'm just like, how are people this stupid? This has to be a joke. There's just no way people like Frogan are real. They could vote. They pay taxes. They contribute to a sensitive society. I don't know, man. I don't know. These people cannot be real. How is Frogy this dumb? Your ego cannot be that big when you have like 40 live viewers on a good day and literally no one knows who the fuck you are.
Wow, Queen. Wow. So smart. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Sigma, right? We're just going crazy here. We're just going crazy. But let's also talk about the money. The money. So here's our lovely Frogy. And she's got, her legal defense fund at this point at $35K. She also had other donations from other places. So I believe, Ethan's number was around $50K. He's tracking this closer than I am. So let's just assume that it's $50K, but she's got at least $35K here. But she had this legal defense fund. And my concern is, what about the money? What did you do with the cash, Frogan? What did you do with the cash? You're clearly not spending all that money on your lawsuit. And so the question is, where is that money going, Frogan?
I have a theory. It might be going to Burger King. It might be going to Chick-fil-A. It might be going to In-N-Out. I don't blame her. In-N-Out be goated. One of my favorite restaurants. But it'll be hilarious. I will die of laughter if it turns out that she's been blowing this money. That would make me laugh like nothing has. If they ask Frogan, what have you been spending your money on? We need the receipts. I need to see where the money is going. And you just see DoorDash, Uber, food, Burger King, Chick-fil-A. That would be, she's not beating the big allegations at that point. Now, once again, we're just throwing around theories. We don't know this for sure. So I'm willing to be charitable towards Frogan, even though I know she wouldn't do the same for me or others alike, but I don't care.
Where is that money going, Frogan? Is that going to your muffin budget? Because it's certainly not going into responding to the claims, right? Certainly not going to respond to the claims. And what happens if the funds were diverted to purposes other than the legal defense? That's a possible crime. Theft by deception, false pretenses, fraud. This is a type of fraud. Also wire fraud. So we're talking about potential theft or fraud. Did it go into an IOLTA? That's a very good question. We don't know. And once again, this is speculation. So out there, let me be very clear. It's me speculating. It's a question I'm asking. And I don't know. And we need to know, where's the money, Frogan? What are you doing? The other thing is, if she was misdirecting these funds, she could be fined. There can be restitution, right? Meaning the money is returned to the people that donated. And there can even be prison time.
I was about to say, I don't think she's this dumb to destroy her life like this, but at the same time, it's Frogo. It's Frogy. It's Frogan. It's like, I would not be surprised if it turns out she actually did this. And it would be absolutely hilarious if she... If on top of everything, she gets fined and then she goes to jail. You cannot make this up. Now I understand we're just shooting around theories. We're just talking about the what ifs, what if this, what if that. I get that. But I'm sure there's a universe out there where Frogan runs away from the country, steals the $30,000 to $50,000, and years later they catch Frogan and they put her in Alcatraz. And the alligators eat her. That could be a possibility for fraud.
Figure out what's going on with that money. So last night, this was the language last night. Tell me if she changed this language, because I highlighted this, and this is what was up last night, as of last night. Okay. So after 2 years of target harassment campaign against me, Ethan Klein has now escalated it into suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan and myself on his video titled Content Nuke Hassan Piker. This fundraiser to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint and any counterclaims I have against them. So stop there. So far, as far as we know, she has not paid any legal fees, and she definitely hasn't filed any counterclaims. So as to these two, they're wrong. Now, here's the part where we might get into some debate. This next part, the part I underlined. She puts any other bills, and personal expenses. So she's going to argue, oh, I can put food under that. I can put makeup under that because I need to look pretty for litigation. I can do all this sort of stuff. That's a personal expense.
You could be like, oh yeah, I need to buy a dildo. You know, that's a personal expense. I need to buy 30 orders of chicken nuggets from Burger King, from Taco Bell, wait, does Taco Bell even have chicken nuggets? You get my point. This is just straight up low-key kind of scamming. This is for my legal fees and my bills. You know, my internet needs to be paid, my light needs to be paid, and personal expenses. So if I feel like going to Japan for a month to really clear my head, I could use the $35,000 to go and clear my head, right? That's a personal expense. That is crazy. Ain't no way. Just lock Frogan up. It's over, little bro. Just call it quits.
I can pay for like 22 layers of cover-up, right? Under personal expense, because that's a personal expense. But the problem is, and then the rest of the language, from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. Well, the question is, when you have arising from, if you're not participating in the litigation, if you are not fighting back, there's no litigation to speak of. Therefore, it's not arising from the litigation. So despite the fact that personal expenses is here and that might be valid, it's in connection with the litigation. It's not personal expenses for her to go on a personal trip, right? Or her to go buy a sandwich or whatever, Chipotle.
I love how everyone just thinks of Frogan and they go directly to food. Yeah, she doesn't need food. She doesn't need a fucking triple double with extra meat, right? Oh, Froyo, you are so fucking cooked. It's not even funny. I'm starting to feel a little bad here. How are people like Frogan real? They need to be studied, because ain't no way someone is this dumb, I'm trying to think of words that won't get me in trouble. Once again, I think people like Frogan, Denims, and others are actually pretty stupid. And I don't want to say that, you know what I mean? I'm not a bad guy. I'm a very loving and wholesome guy, but these people just bring out the worst in me. Legitimately, they make me such a hater. I'm just like, oh, these fucking morons. Thanking my mom every single day. I'm not like these fucking idiots.
Okay. So that is a situation where she may have some trouble. All right, so let's get into Denims. Let's go deep on Denims, okay? Even though she's disloyal. Here is this discovery matter. It's an order granting a stipulation for the plaintiff, that's Ethan Klein, he's TED Entertainment, to serve third-party subpoenas prior to Rule 26F conference. So this is literally, remember, as a reminder, Disloyal Denims literally betrayed the Reddit mods. She stabbed them in the back. She refused to defend them at all. She completely sacrificed them to the corn in order to get this moving along, right? And she gave up all of their information. She said, you know what? You can subpoena them, and you can get all their information. That's Denims. That's the type of girl she is. Once again, this is why these people are going to fold like a sack of cards. They have no loyalty for each other. They don't care for each other at all. All of this, we're one big community. We're one big proletariat. That falls apart. That falls apart immediately when push comes to shove.
I'm not really surprised, honestly. Throwing the fucking Redditors under the bus, it's in line with the type of behavior those people have, and those people, of course, are referring to Frogan, Denims, and the like. So this doesn't really surprise me, and I don't feel bad for the moderators. It's like, you willingly spend your time moderating for someone that fucking hates you, for someone that betrays you. It's obvious Denims had a lot of moderators, Reddit and Discord moderators, who are clearly just there because they find her hot. And hey, I get shooting your shot, you know what I mean? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I believe in that. Amen. But now those tier 4 sims are getting thrown under the bus, and they're about to be fucked financially because they're getting sued. Their names are leaking. And who approve of that? Their queen, Denims. Once again, what a sad life to live. Imagine moderating for someone that throws you under the bus under the slightest pinch of pressure. Couldn't be me. Can't relate. Skill issue, Denims.
Pushing each other in front of the firing squad, right? They're pushing each other in front of the firing squad. And we see this with Denims right now. Completely under the bus. Upon consideration of the joint stipulation granting plaintiff leave to serve third-party subpoenas prior to the Rule 26F conference, the plaintiff TEDx Entertainment ZF Inc. and defendant Alexandra Marwa Saber, PK Denims, Dirty Denims. And for good cause shown, the court hereby rules as follows. The stipulation is granted. TEI, that's Ethan Klein, may immediately serve the subpoena attached as Exhibit A to the stipulation on the third-party Reddit, that's so Reddit in general, accompanied by this order, and shall include the date of the Reddit subpoena. It was issued in the date of compliance. And they may also serve subpoena on Discord. Uh-oh! Granted by Wesley L. Hugh, Sue, maybe, a United States District Judge, July 31st. So the point of the matter here is that we have a official subpoena of Discord and Reddit. And Discord and Reddit, I'm telling you right now, and I know this, I have friends that are civil litigators, I've seen this in other cases that we've studied, etc. Discord and Reddit are going to turn over all the data. They do not care. They have no dog in the fight to defend these people. None. Zero. They do not care. They do not want to fight want to go into a huge legal battle over fighting the disclosure information. They're just going to do it. They're going to roll over and do it.
Yes, and yes, my prayers have been answered. Maybe God is real after all. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm no longer a 12-year-old Reddit atheist. Maybe now I will go to church every Sunday. As a matter of fact, today is Sunday, so I'm going to be in church. So if you see me, make sure you ask for a pig. I'm going to be chanting the Holy Spirit's name after this one. Yes, please. I want these fucking loser-ass Redditors and these fucking loser-ass Discord moderators to be taught a lesson. These insane individuals that were celebrating Ethan Klein being sent human skulls and all the other stuff that happened between them. I am so glad those people are about to get exactly what they deserved. I love to see it. It's a massive W, and I hope these Redditors learn their lesson. You know what I mean? I'm telling you guys, this is really good. This whole season of internet drama has been extremely entertaining, and even the minor characters like the Discord mods and the Reddit mods are getting completely cooked. So yeah, this is worth celebrating. This is worth drinking. So if you have fucking soju or a beer or wine or whatever type of alcohol you have, responsibly of course, pop it open, because these fucking losers are about to get exactly what they deserve. Same with Frogy and Denims, Disloyal Denims. All of these people that fucked around are now finding out.
So because some of your cohorts leaked your Discord messages to us, we have some of your Discord IDs, and guess what? We're gonna if anyone's gonna have your real identity, it's gonna be right there. We're gonna have
that's it. Hold on, let's play it one more time.
Messages to us. We have some of your Discord IDs, and guess what? We're gonna if anyone's gonna have your real identity, it's gonna be right there. We're gonna have all your messages. Discord. And listen, don't try to erase them. If you erase them now, it's not gonna look good.
You guys remember that? You guys remember what that is? Now, obstruction, it can be obstruction, but spoliation of evidence. That is exactly right. You guys in the class paying attention. So let's continue. Let's play the rest of this.
And you should know that I'll still get them even if you erase them. Because the companies hold.
Yeah, they don't really delete that stuff.
Yeah, and then that, and so I'm getting it, So you can erase, you can run, you can cry, you can piss, you can bitch. But I'm coming. And you're about to find out what happens when you a stranger. And
there it is.
We got to pull that sound button.
Okay, I will gladly do that.
The gamers stay winning. God bless. This is such a good day. I actually feel like going outside and interacting with other human beings for once. Maybe donating to charity. I don't know. This is a W day. So if you're hyped to see all of these losers get exposed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a like. Because I have a feeling that we're barely getting started. And I'm always keeping you guys in the loop. You guys know. Did I say lube or loop? Either way, I got you guys. I'm out. This was fun. Epic win. I am very much looking forward to see how this all plays out. Frogan, Fro, count your days because you probably have 34 days left until you're completely fucked. So I'll be sure to cover that. Now I'm out. Peace.